We've been talking about the rotational market and what it would take for the stock market to continue its upside gains. Last week, we brought you some material stocks. They have done exceptionally well in the last week, and now I want to continue that conversation. Harvey actually early in the show talked about FCX in the material category, and that, of course, is a stock that we are looking at favorably. Now we are going to look at three more stocks in this category. U.S. Steel, which has had a huge upside gain and then a pullback as there was an attempted buyout, which the government stopped, and that had the other steels moving up and then all moving down again. And now there are signs that they are getting ready to move up. Well, they've already had some good upside bounces, and there may be some opportunities. And I'm going to show you the timing, I think, for alongside entry in these stocks. So let's switch over now to those stocks, and we'll take a look at U.S. Steel. So we're looking at the 10-year weekly and also looking at the 2-year daily, and I have a 2-hour chart up here also. We're mainly going to look at the weekly and the daily when I look at this. So I'm going to blow it out a little bit here, and you can see the big upside gain that we had here was regarding that buyout and the big upside gap, and then all of the machinations that we've seen as the government wanted to stop that. And now you see this upside move in here as President Trump has protected the steel stocks through tariffs. And then we see the upside turn. You can see in the bottom the cycle brackets and the rhythms in these cycles in here. Now the cycle kind of disappeared in here when you had that big upside move and all that upside momentum. And here's that reversal scout as it turned up right over here. It confirmed the bottom in the cycle and moving up. As you could see, we have this pointing up to a continuation of the cycle that's here up to these resistance areas. This is about 43.5. This is about 45. Stock is trading at 38 right now. So there is some potential good upside. You could see it couldn't really get through that 78.6% and hold it right there, but I think it is going to. Let's take a look at the daily chart, and you can see in here the cyclical rhythms as they have reformed. And you can see that where we are is in a positive condition, just as you saw on the weekly that you saw the reversal scout turned up. It did so over here. That was a perfect confirmation. If you don't have the reversal scout, that's a level 4 indicator for askSlim, and of course the free indicator in here is the slim ribbon, which you can see positive also. This is the slim ribbon PO. You see those upside resumption signals right in there. Those are those arrows, and that's very valuable. So you can see in here where this cycle is likely to turn over and give you a little bit of a pullback. I have this listed as buy pending because this formation is so strong and it's very likely to stay well above these highs. So sometime here out into first, second week of March is where it looks like it will then have this little corrective period end and then moving up again. So you can see as I show you that the weekly over here rising, the daily over here rising, putting on that positive formation. And here you can see in here the 2-hour chart, if those of you that study the intraday also, as it begins to flatten out in here. So at some point it's going to give you a little red signal, and here you get further corrective period. And then when that turns positive over here, that will be the first sign of the upside move. So that's looking at U.S. Steel. Let's take a look at Nucor, NUE, and we're going to look at it the same way as you see right here. And you can see the cyclical patterns in here as they are quite beautiful. And now this rising phase gets up into the resistance, stalls at that 61.8%. We're projecting up over here. That's the 50%, sorry, 61.8, 78.6. So that means we're pointing up to about 148, up to about 158 here in these next several weeks. If I look at the daily chart, it's the same thing, pulling back here into the first or second week of October, and then beginning to set up that next upside move. So this is your buy timing in here in that stock, as we had in the U.S. Steel right around the first or second week of March. And let's just look at one more in here, STLD, Steel Dynamics. And you're going to see pretty much the same thing as you see these beautiful cycle patterns in here. This is the prettiest of them all. And this upward turn, you could see where the downward turn in here gave you the declining phase. It's the same thing right in here, declining phase. And then when it turns up, that tells you about the upside turn in this phase right here. So we're rising right there. When I look at the daily chart, you could see the same thing. Pull back over here into late February to early March. So these are a little different patterns in here, as you could see. And then after that, giving you that upside projection here. So this 78.6 there is at 146. When I look at the weekly chart again, we're projecting up here. This is about 139. This is about 148, 147. So you can see those are the upside projections. This category in here, looking at the steel stocks, to me is another good one for the rotation that we think is going to be continuing, as I showed you in the looking at the charts in the S&P 500 and the MDY. And I think that's going to give you a good sense for stocks in the rotation that you could buy while there are a lot of tech stocks that are faltering. So that's a look, mini stock sectors for rotational markets on the steels. Hope you found that valuable.